Hi and welcome to Intuitive Insights. On this channel we discuss everything to do with the Ascension process. I'm going to be doing a twin flame reading for you guys today. And I do want to put out the caveat, you can absolutely watch this video for a person. You can also watch it, and I encourage you to do so, and apply it to the masculine and feminine energies within yourself and just what those two energies are experiencing and going through, because we all have a masculine and a feminine energy within us as well, and the interplay of those two energies and the balancing of those energies within ourselves is a huge thing that we're all going through right now. So yeah, I encourage you to watch it. For that, I also, absolutely you're welcome to watch it for an individual as well. And it's just going to be however it resonates for you. You may resonate with both. You may resonate simply watching this for the aspects of yourself, or simply watching it for another. It's really very open to interpretation. So it's whatever and however you perceive it and understand it, and what resonates is perfect for you. And this is a general reading, so it's not going to resonate with everyone. I just want to put that out there right away. And we're just gonna get started and see what we get for today. All right. All right, let's get a card for the masculine energy. Okay, so that popped right out. So we have the circle. I love all those handprints around the edge of it. Just reminds me of all the unity. It reminds me of unity and unification, interconnectedness, and a sense of continuum is what this card implies. The circle reminds us we are all one, dancers in a unified, continuous, inclusive circle. This card reminds us of the cycles of life and the evolving self, ever changing and always connected. Human, spirit, nature, the cosmos, all intrinsically connected. When the circle appears, it reminds you that you are connected to everything and everyone, including to spirit. Spirit's essence beats in your heart and inspires you to co-create your world, knowing that you count, that you have purpose in this world. Imagine even a smile to a stranger can change the course of a life. When the circle invites you to dance in the sacred steps of life, know that your work, your love, your service brings greater value than you can know. Stay the course, keep dancing, all will be well. So I feel like the masculine energy is really getting into a state of interconnectedness right now. I'm feeling so much inspiration from this card. Like they're connecting to their life purpose. They're connecting to just that sacredness of life, just really feeling empowered and just really positive, and knowing and understanding that their energy makes a difference in the world, and sort of kind of awakening to their purpose, and just awakening to their purpose and their connection to everything and everyone, their purpose in every sense of their word, their purpose when it comes to their family and the people that they care about, their purpose when it comes to the world, to their career, all of the ways that they can be of service, and just really focusing on bringing in the joy. I feel them really focusing on bringing the joy into their lives right now, really bringing the purpose and the passion into their lives, and just trying to focus on all of the little things too, and how a quote that we use pretty often on here is like, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So really like narrowing into that energy and being really conscious of their energy and how they're using their energy, and really kind of stepping into that role of being that co-creator with the universe. And yeah, just really feeling a sense of empowerment around how they show up in the world and how they show up in their lives. That's sort of that's the energy that I'm picking up from that card, which is awesome. That's really, really good. Really cool. So now we're going to utilize the Twin Flame Journey Tarot, which I just recently got, and we're going to dig a little bit deeper here. So what is going on in the masculine's headspace, right now? What's going on in the headspace? So we got strength, restraint. And so, yeah, there's that inner strength. They're really building on in that inner strength. I mean, you can see this lion is just, he is absolutely the king of his domain. He's like that quiet kind of strength, right? Like he's not, this is like that divine masculine energy, right? They're stepping into their divine masculine energy. He's very confident. He's very calm. He doesn't feel as though he needs to exert his strength over other people or prove that he is strong. He just knows that he's strong. And he's just kind of like, yeah, it's interesting because there's like this door open next to him and it's showing restraint. So I feel as though he's really calmly and strategically pondering his next move, is what I feel like. He understands the interconnectedness. He understands the part that the roles that he plays, and he's really stepped into like the mastery of playing those roles in his life. Like he's moving into, like he's becoming the king, right? And so he's sort of, but he's showing restraint in some areas still, and sort of like kind of planning his next moves. He's not necessarily like he's laying down right now. He's not taking action at the moment, but he is he's visualizing and he's planning his next moves. And then we have on the bottom of the deck the Wheel of Fortune, destined opportunities. So there are opportunities that will be, he's waiting for the right opportunity. That's what it is. He's waiting for the right opportunity. He understands now the interconnectedness of all things. He understands the way that things have happened and why those things have happened. And he's coming to this place of sort of dominion over his own reality. And now he has other things on his mind, other things that he's wanting to move toward, but he's understanding that like the timing is important. And so he's waiting for those opportune moments in order to move in the direction that he's ready to move. And just really having come to an understanding of that. It's a circle, right? Like he understands the cycles of creation. He understands the cycles of life. He understands all of these different things. Maybe even I thought karmic cycles. So he's starting to understand what those are and how those have worked out and in his favor, really. He's putting together a lot of the pieces, and then he's kind of just sitting back and waiting for those opportunities. Like he knows those opportunities are coming, and some of those opportunities may have already presented themselves, and he's just really feeling in sync and in flow with spirit when it comes to that as a result of some soul searching. We have the Hermit card. So we have Leo energy and Virgo energy with the Strength card and the Hermit card. But more than that, it's just he's done some really deep soul searching, and he's understood a lot of things about himself and just about everything that's happened and transpired, and sort of coming to understand the deeper meaning behind things. And yeah, and just knowing and having gained the wisdom through that experience is what I'm getting from that. And so this is the mind space. So what's happening in the heart space for the masculine? What's happening in the heart space for the masculine? Interesting. Okay. So we have the Chariot, which is charging ahead. So this is like, it's interesting. In the mental space, he's showing a lot of restraint. And he's very much, in this energy of knowing that he's waiting for the right timing. He's understanding the destined and fated events and how they kind of all move together. He's understanding, he's also understanding the synchronicities and all of these different things as well, I feel like. But in his heart space, he's like charging ahead. He's really wanting to move forward. And we also got divine partnership, 2 of Cups. So he's wanting to move forward towards this. He's wanting to move forward towards that, but we also have heavy burdens here in the middle. So it's sort of like he's wanting to move ahead. He does have some burdens and some obligations, and he has maybe just some stuff that is still weighing on his heart, and trying to reconcile that with this impetus and this desire to move and charge ahead toward what it is that he wants, which is looking like the 2 of Cups. So it's looking like if we're talking about a person, it's looking like they're wanting to move toward their feminine, toward an energy that is this divine, sacred union type of energy, right? And yeah, and if this is the energies within you, then it's that masculine energy wanting to unite with that feminine energy, wanting that harmonious flow between the two, wanting to release any of the burdens that have kept them from communicating and being in sync and in flow with each other. And yeah, it's wanting to and needing to release some stuff in the heart center, and possibly in the physical as well, or just not knowing how to do so. Maybe even with these heavy burdens, it's like the burden of situations, the burden with, it's like she's in a light bulb, right? So it's like understanding, it's the light bulb would be like a perspective shift, right? Or it would be like this idea, right? But it's sort of like she's just kind of defeated in there. So like heavy burdens created by situations and sort of distortions of the mind, I'm feeling like. And just burdens in the heart that need to be released, sort of just feeling that there's things that the heart is holding on to that need to be let go of. Whether this is perspective stuff, this is energetic stuff, this is things in the physical, and the way that things played out in the physical, maybe feeling sort of burdened by that and not really knowing how to move forward as a result of some of these things that have conspired in the physical, and how to charge ahead, and how to like being afraid to move forward. It's like strategically speaking, he's kind of figuring some things out and understanding some stuff, but in the heart space, he's still a little bit burdened, and he's still a little bit weary, a little bit wary. And just wanting to rest. The 10 of Wands is, in the traditional deck, like putting the burdens down, right? So he's wanting to put the burdens down. He's wanting to put down the burdens of the past. He's maybe just released some pretty heavy burdens that he was carrying, and just a little bit wary about whether or not he wants to step back into a situation where he may be burdened again. Like he's feeling this incredible sense of freedom now. So it's like, do I really want to risk picking those burdens back up again now that I've let them down? That's another thing that I'm getting. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have 5 of Swords, mind games and control. So there may have been some situations where the masculine energy felt as though they were being controlled, or they were being toyed with, their mind was being played with. And so these may be some of those burdens that they're really not wanting to pick back up again. And yeah. So that could be a thing. But then we also have the Sun on the bottom of the deck, which is illumination and growth. So there's a lot of hope here. It's stepping out of this fear, really having gained back a level of autonomy after feeling as though they were toyed with, and not wanting to go back to that. But through this process of overcoming these mind games and these control issues, and sort of understanding, and really I'm feeling this too as mind games and control in their own minds, and overcoming that as well, right? And rising above that, like there's illumination and growth that occurs. And it's, yeah, I mean, she's making the little heart there, right? It's like so much growth that's occurring and wanting to continue to occur. Yeah, and then we have on the bottom of the deck, Ace of Swords, breakthrough and awareness. Okay. And let's go over here now. Card for the feminine energy. Card for the feminine energy. Oof, boy. Yeah. So, the feminine's got some stuff going on now. So we have the Sorcerer. This card's all about the shadow. So the feminine energy is confronting a lot of shadow aspects in themselves right now. They're confronting a lot of shadow aspects. They're confronting a lot of old behaviors, old wounds, some like negative expressions of energy. And so this could be understanding ways that their own energy has expressed negatively in the past. This could also be like becoming aware of others who were expressing their energy in negative. It kind of goes back to this card, right? In sort of manipulative ways or just misusing their energy. So they're in that really deep shadow space right now. We have the Coyote too, which is the sacred trickster, right? So a lot of trickster energy in their reality right now, a lot of shadow energy, a lot of trickster energy, a lot of just, yeah, a lot of fuckery going on is kind of what I feel right now, is what the feminine is experiencing and working through. And so we're just going to take a quick peek here. Sorcerer represents the destructive aspect of the human psyche and the self-centered behavior that harms others. When the Sorcerer enters your circle, you're being called to look at how your beliefs around scarcity and self-centered fear manifest in your world. Examine the destructive part of your psyche that misuses power or harbors feelings of resentment, vengeance, lust, greed, bigotry, or hatred. Perhaps you've harmed someone because of these dark tendencies. If so, all is not lost. You have only forgotten that all beings are interconnected and the universe is abundant. The Sorcerer arrives to challenge you to change your thinking. You're given a second chance. Correct your course and practice not blaming others for the darkness that lives inside of you. Make peace with it another way. So I feel like this is also the feminine coming into an understanding of how a lot of situations in her life actually were mirrors for her own energy, and maybe even her relationship to her own masculine, and how that was a mirror of her own energy as well, and just kind of like in a little bit of a dark place around that right now. Or for some it's a beautiful illuminating realization, because like that means that we have control over it, right? If we understand that, now we can change it. But she's just really in this space of like understanding the importance of going inside to see, like not focusing so much on the outside, or if this is a relationship, not focusing so much on their energy and what they were doing and sort of like all the healing that they needed to do. Because in a lot of ways, they're looking pretty good right now. And they probably were always doing a lot, like there was a lot of displaced, there was a lot that was displaced with the feminine. She's starting to realize, and she's starting to realize how there are things within her that really need to be healed, because they're continuing to manifest outside of herself, right? Like this energy keeps coming in, this trickster energy, these blocks and these barricades and these situations that aren't quite what they seem. And she's seeing how that's connected and how that has to do more with her than anybody else. That's what I'm picking up more than anything. And so she's understanding all of that, and yeah, just understanding the steps that need to be taken to move to the next level. We also have soul retrieval on the bottom of the deck. So she's also integrating lost pieces of her soul, and that process can be a little intense and a little bit heavy, and it is bringing up a lot of shadow stuff too. So as more aspects of the feminine soul are returning to her, she's gaining more illumination and more insights, and yeah, it's just working through those shadow energies, working through situations where there's just a lot of tricky energy in the air. It's like people and situations are not what they seem. And just all of these roadblocks and barriers and It talks about worthiness in this card, right? Because it talks about abundance and the scarcity complex. And so it's working through all of those paradigms too and understanding where that energy is coming from. And just sort of releasing that energy, because really what she's turning into is this beautiful butterfly, right? But it's been this ongoing process that's facilitating that happening. And so let's see. Here we go. What's going on in the feminine's heart space right now? What's going on? Yeah, we said heart first, so we'll do heart first. What's going on in the feminine's heart space? Heart space. What's going on in the feminine's heart space? Any other cards? Okay. So we have Ace of Wands, or Ace of Swords rather, breakthrough and awareness. So she's having some breakthroughs. This is typically mental energy, but it's like coming through. It's like her heart center is getting she's getting awareness, heart awareness, right? So this is like the cognitive heart center. She's just understanding the things that have been in her heart. She's been holding in her heart that have been manifesting perhaps situations that weren't, well, I won't say weren't for her highest good, because they helped her to learn and they helped her to grow, but are not getting her to the places that she wants to go anymore. Stuff that she's ready to release. And then we have temperance, restoration. So this card is gorgeous. And so this is like that soul restoration, right? Like she's being restored. She's being restored. Her soul is pieces of her soul are being restored to her. This awareness it's sort of like her heart center is being restored. All of her, really. I mean, you see the fire there. It's like her passion, her fire is being restored to her. That may have felt like it was sort of dimmed for a while. And so that's coming back. And we've got this beautiful cosmic looking water too. So it's like the water and the emotions and the passion are being restored to her, as well as she's had some of these breakthroughs and these awarenesses around the heart. She's being restored. Her fire is being lit again. And then we have Judgment, karma review. So this kind of links to that sorcerer card, right? It's like some of her karma. She's seeing the karmic implications and the karmic patterns in her relationships and in her world, in the way that she acts and reacts with other people. And we have this lightning bolt too, so it's like realization again. The realizations, the breakthroughs around that. And just being presented with these situations, like with that trickster energy, right? Where she gets to decide, like, do I want to do the same thing or do I want to do something different? Like, I understand, am I ready to release this cycle, or do I want to go for another lap around? And then we have the Three of Pentacles, collaboration, the Eight of Pentacles, work in progress, and the Lovers, twin flame connection. So in her heart space as well, oh my God, we've got so much going on, guys. There's the wanting to collaborate, wanting to unite, wanting to continue to build these alliances with other people, and really working on that process, working on drawing those people in, those collaborators, one of whom may be your twin flame, right? So if we're talking about just our own energy, we're talking about the feminine essence calling in the masculine essence in order to facilitate that creative process, right? Like collaborating not just with others, but also with our own masculine and feminine sides in order to create whatever it is that we're wanting to create, right? And in the physical, if there is a physical counterpart, it could also be calling in that counterpart, because Like their heart feels that it's time for them to collaborate together and to build together, right? And it's sort of like, it's a work in progress at this point, you know. The feminine's still clearing out a lot of energies. They've got a lot of karmic cycles are wrapping up right now. They're being presented with a lot of information that's reflecting back to them the state of their selves, right? Like experiencing a lot of realizations around that, but also like being reborn at the same time and being reignited. And as their energy is being reignited, she's really moving towards this collaboration and this connection and wanting to step more firmly into that. So let's see what's going on in the feminine's mental space right now. Mental space. What's going on in the feminine's mental space right now? Oh. A lot going on there too, guys. Holy shit. All right. So self-sabotage and nightmares, 9 of Swords. So some anguished mental energy going on. 2 of Swords, stalemate and indecision. Heartache, 3 of Swords. So I'm feeling just a lot of and then at the bottom of all of these cards, we have the Queen of Wands, confident and magnetic. So we got a lot going on, guys. The feminine has, I mean, they're going through, there may be some heartbreak going on right now as well. A lot of heartache, really just being torn, being in situations where they don't really know which path to choose, feeling worried about or maybe realizing how some of their energies have been self-sabotaging, and looking at those shadow aspects, looking at those karmic cycles and sort of getting an understanding of sort of why some of these situations keep repeating, and getting ready to and wanting to move out of that energy, because we have deception and strategy. So I'm placing this right under self-sabotage and nightmares. So it's like feeling as though others are deceiving them and sabotaging them, but also like seeing how that they are doing that to themselves, right? Really getting an understanding of that and how that's working out. And yeah, then we have, so we're in this energy of this mental energy of a lot of like confusion and pain and just like self-sabotage and all of this different, like a lot of anguished mental energy going on. But then we have the Knight of Swords, decisive action. We have the 2 of Pentacles, balancing act. We have the Magician, manifestation tools. And then, like I showed you, the Queen of Wands, confidence and magnetism. So it's like I can see us coming out of this mental cycle, and this is where, like, you know, this card comes in, right? Coming out of it into that energy, and really with a firm sense of where we want to go, how we're going to balance everything in order to achieve that, how we can, like, the tools that we have at our disposal to manifest what it is that we want, and just feeling really confident in being able to do that. So that's some really good energy to be moving into. But it's like all of this turmoil had to come first. All of this confusion. It's like different options, different paths to take, different situations where we're being called, the feminine's being called not only on how to utilize her intuition when it comes to, but like intuition with the self as well as others, like how to spot deception within the self as well as in others, and how to understand that deception from others is really just a reflection of the ways that we're still deceiving ourselves and the wounds that we're still wanting to heal. And just really, I feel this energy of like surprise from the feminine. Like a lot of times the feminine, like, we like to believe that we have our shit together, right? And now we're sort of in the space of being like, oh my God, this is a giant clusterfuck. Like, what is happening here? Like, I thought that my karma was cleared. I thought my side of the street was clean. I thought that I really had a lot of stuff figured out. And now I'm realizing how all of these situations really do boil down to me and my own energy and the things that my own karma and my own patterns and my own habitual mental fuckery. And just really like being kind of shocked by that, but not necessarily in like a bad way, just kind of like oh, okay then, wow, all right. And just really allowing that, like allowing ourselves to be empowered by that. It's like, it's interesting because it's like the feminine is wanting collaboration and she's wanting to unify with her masculine energy. But at the same time, it's like she's got so much like confusion and pain going on in her mental body, and just like these epiphanies that are coming out of it, but just there's so much other stuff going on that needs to be sorted through, and she's understanding and seeing all the things that need to be healed, and she is going to come out of that triumphant and able to heal that and manifest what it is that she wants to manifest. But it's like, it's quite a process right now. It's quite a process. These are some intense cards. And then on the bottom of the deck we have planning and decisions. So she will be able to start planning and making those decisions once she really starts understanding and working through all of this congested heart energy. And then any final cards for the masculine? Any final cards for the masculine energy here? I feel like we got a lot for the feminine. Any final cards? Okay, so the masculine got love initiation, Ace of Cups. And the Queen of Swords on the bottom of the deck. Sharp and assertive. And this is just one of my favorite cards in this deck. It's gorgeous. Yeah, so it seems as though he is going to be, as he's putting down these final burdens and he's working through these final fears of being deceived and by others as well as by himself, and just really standing firmly in his independence, right? He's going to be initiating some love here, an act of love, an offering of love. This is also, the Ace of Cups can be self-love. So coming into a much deeper sense of self-love, and then possibly offering that, because he is now in a place where his cup is overflowing. And also just in a place of like the Queen of Swords, I'm seeing, it's once again, it's got all the clocks here, right? So it reminds me of this energy. And so just the timing, right, is like really understanding and waiting for that opportune timing. But also just, with the sharp and assertive, it's like really he's stepped into his own power and empowerment and has learned how to be assertive. And so he's just really mastering that energy as well. And then, yeah, just really understanding the cycles and timing and divine timing and all of that. And just when he does offer this cup, he will do so from a very firm place, very firm and assertive place. Like his energy will be very, very strong, and there'll be a lot of honest communication involved. The Queen of Swords is all about honest, blunt communication. So there will be a lot of honest communication, but paired with the Ace of Cups, it's like loving, honest communication. Yeah, so that was an interesting reading, you guys. trying to think, is there anything else that I want to do here? We'll do, we shall do a little advice from the Ascended Masters too, because we love doing that. So we'll see. Advice for the masculine moving forward from the Ascended Masters. Advice and advisement energy. Whoa. Okay. So we have Serapis Bay Ascension. Move into your true self. Rise above the darkness. The light is here. So this is just like the masculine is really ascending right now. He's really stepping into his inner authority. He's really connecting spiritually, and yeah, he's just really in this process of evolution right now. And then we have Mercury, open communication. Get a weight off your chest. Speak with love and be heard. So this is just kind of like that Queen of Swords, Ace of Cups combined kind of energy, right? Like speaking the truth, communicating where communication is necessary. Anything that's weighing the masculine down or burdening the masculine, he's being urged to communicate, but lovingly but assertively. And then we have Cernunnos, life force. Express your driving passion. Sensual and sexual powers are increased. So he's feeling very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very, oh God, I can't think of the word. But he's feeling passionate. He's feeling sexual. He's feeling very, just really strong. And in that just that fiery, oh God, I cannot think of the word that I'm looking for. But like when you're extremely effective and you're extremely potent, I can't think of the word. But yeah, he's just really in that energy right now and commanding of his life force and feeling that passion and feeling that desire and wanting to express that. That's just, that energy has been coming through really strongly lately. And then your third eye is open. See truth for what it is. Follow your intuition. Psychic insight. So he's really connected. And this is like a warrior card too. Like Odin is a warrior. So it's like his inner warrior is activated. His inner passion, his inner warrior. He's just feeling very much like in that energy of like connected to his intuition. Really ascending. Connected to and in this place where he's able to speak his truth and ready to speak his truth. And is really seeing and understanding the truth all around him in different circumstances. And then Melchizedek, higher learning. You have learned from experience. More inner study is now required to further progress. So this is just like, continuing to grow spiritually, continuing to progress, like having learned some major lessons and went through a seriously major upgrade, spiritually speaking, and now ready to step into the next level with that, is what I'm getting. And then Mahavatar Babaji, soul expansion. Your consciousness is expanding. You understand the connection between all things. So this goes back to that first card, right, that we got for the masculine with the circle. Is just understanding all of that interconnectedness, really being connected to that unity consciousness, to that love consciousness, and just feeling and being effective in the world. And then Lady Portia, do what is right. An important lesson is unfolding. And then, all right, for the feminine, guidance for the feminine, guidance and energies for the feminine. Ooh, that came up for the feminine as well. Guidance for the feminine. Energies for the feminine. Whoa, okay. All right. There's a lot. The Ascended Masters are chatty today. So we have the same card that was on the bottom of the deck that I felt called to read for the masculine. Lady Portia, divine order, do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. So masculine and feminine are going through some serious lessons, some serious lessons, some serious wrapping up of karmic cycles and stuff like that. And this is especially for the feminine. Like there are some really important lessons unfolding as far as that aspect goes, as far as karmic cycles, as far as really understanding the shadow and the ways that our shadow selves are affecting our lives, maybe much more than we realized. And then the next card, of course, is Kali Ma, facing fear. Major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. So it's just facing that shadow again, being willing to embrace the darker sides of our nature, right? Being willing to embrace those darker sides of ourselves. That could be something too, is just a lot of us, we didn't necessarily realize or understand how dark some of our tendencies can be. And so that may have been kind of being brought to light as well. And that could have been a jarring experience. And we're also just in this rebirthing process. And so that's going to be, it's like we are in that process of burning so that we can rise again. And like we will rise. It's just that process is intense. And then we've got Commander Ashtar, call to action, take charge, lead by example, walk your talk. And so walk your talk is standing up to me a lot. Standing out to me a lot. Is just, facing our fears, understanding how our fears are manifesting and creating our reality, and not wanting to do that anymore. And that's one of these important lessons that are unfolding for the feminine right now. And then the feminine is being called to action as well, and being called to lead by example, and to walk her talk, to be the example, the living example of the values that she embodies, that she touts, that she speaks for, to be that, and to really step into her own power. I think the feminine has realized a lot of places where she's given away her power, and she's not willing to do that anymore. And she's being called to take charge in that respect too, to really call on her masculine energy, her inner masculine energy, in order to take charge, and to know how to do that, and know how to conduct herself, in how to take action on her values, and how to conduct herself with integrity, while at the same time not being a doormat, and not allowing behaviors that are defeating, are not productive, not positive, not allowing those energies in her life, either from herself or from others. And then we have the Miriam, sacred vision. Choose to forgive in order to heal. See the light in all. Remember that love has no boundaries. Right? And you can see this is the Miriam, or twin souls, right? And so this is kind of a twin flamey card in there. And it's all about, forgiveness. Forgiving. The feminine has, in a lot of ways, I feel, done really well with the art of forgiving others. But now she's also being called to forgive herself. To forgive herself, and to be honest with herself about where she has not actually been practicing forgiveness. That's goes back to the walk your talk. Where she's believed or deceived herself into thinking that she had forgiven others or herself, and then realizing that needs to go deeper, and there's still a deeper layer of that healing and forgiveness that needs to happen. And then we have Lord Shiva, transcendence. Rise up, honor your inner force. Steps are being given, dance with the universe. And then that's coming right after, or right before, the Holy Spirit, expect miracles. Remember that only love is real. Miracles will occur naturally. Spirit has your back. So just trusting in the divine, sinking back into that trust again. Like for the feminine, it may have been kind of a back and forth process of trusting spirit, trusting and then not trusting herself and then not trusting herself. So really sinking back into that place of trust and of honoring herself by just the way that she allows herself to be treated, the way that she treats others, the way that she stands up for what it is that she believes in, the way that she just cares for herself and has love and compassion for herself, and just honoring herself in that way, and just honoring her connection with spirit and her connection to her own sacred femininity. And then we have Almoria, awakening presence. The universe is with you. Wear a cloak of love and protection. And then Hilarion, divine healing. Honor your sensitivity, retreat to recharge and heal. Your light can support others. So the feminine energy, a lot of times, especially when it's not linked in with its masculine energy and balanced by its masculine energy, can be overly giving can be sort of overly nurturing to the point of neglecting the self. So it's really learning how to step back into that energy as well, how to recharge and allow ourselves to be recharged, how to really just step back into our own empowerment and allow ourselves to, the feminine, to just allow themselves to heal. And knowing that like they can, like your light can support others, but first it's about learning how to get that support from self, right? It's like that Ace of Cups energy that we're seeking from ourselves, and just understanding that and understanding how to love ourselves first. That's a huge thing that the feminines are learning right now. Besides just, and we're learning that by seeing the ways that situations and things are being reflected to us that are causing us to think, oh my God, like, there's some sort of disconnect here. Like there's some way, something, it's the reflection of the universe showing the things that are manifesting and what's that revealing what's going on internally, and just that whole process, and just really, yeah, just stepping into that space of the divine feminine, just honoring herself, being honest with herself, and forgiving herself and forgiving others. That's a huge energy. And just knowing that like there are so many miraculous things that can happen the second we step into that place of forgiveness and unconditional love. All right, so we're gonna call that a wrap for today. And hopefully if you liked this video, if you found it helpful, you found it entertaining, just let us know. We're just, yeah, like I said, trying different things, seeing what people are into, seeing what people like. That was super fun. I love and enjoy you guys so much. If you feel inspired to donate to our channel, the link for that is down below in the description box. Kayla and I absolutely appreciate that. It helps us to continue to put out lots of free content for you guys, and just to anchor in that new abundance consciousness of that new earth consciousness. We also, Kayla and I both do readings and energy healing. So the services for that, or the information for those services, is in the box below as well. Just click on whoever it is that you resonate with. We both have our individual information, and yeah, just reach out to us. Please, I especially always tell people the Belvaspata, if anything, like reach out to me for that, because it's the profound shifts that can occur on an energetic level, working on that level. Like it's just so amazing to see the way that it's such a life-changing experience, and I would really love to share that with you guys. So yeah, until next time.